Good morning. My name is Brian, and today I have a riddle for you. What has hands but cannot wave? A clock. Are you ready for one more? What has a tail and a head but no body? A coin. See, I love riddles. I think they're so much fun, but sometimes they're a little tricky to figure out. Today, our Bible story starts off with something that sounds a lot like a riddle. Open up your Bible, and you can find it in the first chapter of the Gospel of John. Check it out. It says, "In the beginning was the Word." What in the world does this mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, in the beginning, before there was anything, we learn that something was there, and this is called the Word. You might have noticed that it starts with a capital letter, and this is a clue to us. It tells us that the Word is really important. If we keep reading, we learn three more things about the Word. That the Word is full of love, that the Word was with God, and that the Word was God. With all these clues, do you know who the Word was? Take 10 seconds, think about it, and tell someone your guess. If you answered Jesus, you are correct. Congratulations. John is talking about Jesus here. You see, Jesus was here before the beginning, and Jesus has always been here, and there, and everywhere. But what is Jesus like? Jesus is full of life, full of light, and full of love. These are all really good things, which tells us that Jesus is really, really good too. Jesus shows us who God is. God has always been, God is full of love, and God can be trusted. God is very, very good. God is so good that all throughout the Bible, we find lots of people who couldn't help but sing and jump for joy because God is so good. Check out these words in Jeremiah 31. They say, "Shout for joy, announce the good news, raise cheers and sing praises because of God's love, God has saved us." Then, in this next passage, Psalm 147, we read these words, "Worship God, He launches His promises our way. How swift and sure they come." Finally, in this last passage in Ephesians 1, we read this, "Long before God laid down the earth's foundations, He had us in mind. He chose us to be the focus of His love, to be made whole and holy by His love." The good news that I want to remind you of today is that Jesus left heaven to come to earth to remind us of God's love for the entire world. He came to us as a baby, He grew up, and He became a man, and then He rescued us by dying on the cross and then coming back to life. He did all of this because He loves all that He has made, and that includes you too. Now that you understand what is being said in John 1, let's listen to it again. Are you ready? Get set. Go.
John, one of Jesus' disciples, wrote to tell people about who Jesus is. John wrote that the word Jesus existed in the beginning before the world even began. The Word has always existed with God, and the Word has always existed as God. He was with God in the beginning. When God spoke at creation, all things were created through His word. Not one thing was created apart from Him. The Word brought life into the world and light for all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness could not hide it. God sent a man named John the Baptist to be a witness to the light. John was not the light, but he came to tell people about the light so they might believe. The true light was coming into the world to give light to everyone. When Jesus came into the world, people did not recognize Him. His own people did not accept Him, but this is good news. To everyone who did accept Him, He gave them the right to be a part of God's family, to be children of God. The Word became a human and lived among us. People saw His glory, the glory of the one and only Son of God. He was full of grace and truth. John the Baptist told people that even though Jesus came into the world after him, Jesus is greater because he existed before John. People received blessings from Jesus, grace upon grace. Long ago, God gave people the law through Moses. But now, he has given us grace and truth through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but Jesus, God's one and only Son, has shown us what God is like.